Hey, I'm Jamie East, and today's episode of The Smart 7 is sponsored by Vodafone Business in partnership with Samsung. If you're running a business, any kind of business, you're probably spending some time thinking about AI, what to do, how much to use it, and how to even get started. The answer could be in your pocket. The new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, powered by Vodafone Business's reliable, award-winning network, will help you unleash your productivity through brilliant built-in Galaxy AI. For example, Note Assist will automatically correct, fix the spelling, formatting and organise your meeting notes so you can stay tuned into the session without any worry. This week saw a surprising new fan of AI as Abbas Bjornulveus revealed at South by Southwest in London that he's been using AI to help generate new material, although he warned it's really bad at lyrics. Mamma mia. Getting back to the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, to take advantage of all the features and change the way you do business, you'll need a Samsung account and a network connection. To find out more, search Vodafone Business Samsung, and for network verification, go to vodafone.co.uk/network. On today's Smart 7, tragedy as Air India flight crashes on takeoff, Israel launches preemptive strikes on Iran, and much more. It's Friday 13th of June, it's Sewing Machine Day, and happy birthday, Chris Evans.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Thursday saw a dramatic and tragic event flash across screens worldwide. Air India flight AI171 departed from Ahmedabad's airport, heading for London Gatwick, but shortly after takeoff, and before it had even fully begun to climb, crashed and burst into flames. The plane impacted a heavily populated area, and authorities say over 260 people were killed. Foreign Secretary David Lammy was quick to offer condolences and support to the families of the 52 Britons on board.
My thoughts, and I'm sure those of the entire House, are with those who've been affected by the tragic plane crash. The FCDO is working urgently with local authorities to support British nationals and their families.
Incredibly, it appears one Brit, Vishwash Kumar Ramesh, who was in seat 11A, survived the crash and was able to walk away from it. The plane involved was a Boeing Dreamliner, which has a good safety record, and Air India CEO Campbell Wilson promised to thoroughly investigate what went wrong.
I would like to express our deep sorrow about this event. This is a difficult day for all of us at Air India, and our efforts now are focused entirely on the needs of our passengers, crew members, their families and loved ones.
There was bad news for Chancellor Rachel Reeves on Thursday in the wake of her spending review. The economy shrank by 0.3% in April, a disappointing reversal after positive growth numbers in Q1. The numbers, which were described as a blip by economists, probably mean that the Bank of England will hold interest rates at their next meeting, rather than making any further cuts. The Chancellor was staying calm, however.
The numbers are disappointing, but monthly GDP numbers are particularly volatile. And if you take the 3-month period, the economy grew by 0.7%.
Analysts suggest that the contraction is probably, in part at least, a consequence of Donald Trump's tariff wars, which led to a £2 billion drop in exports. Tory leader Kemi Badenoch was taking a much more negative view, however.
The economy is shrinking, and it's shrinking because of choices that the government has made. The first budget went after businesses, and now we're seeing that businesses are closing, and that means that we have fewer people paying taxes and more people on the state.
There has been no sign of any cooling of the political temperature in California as protests and unrest continued over immigration raids in Los Angeles. The California governor Gavin Newsom called Donald Trump a stone-cold liar and accused him of using the deployment of the National Guard and active duty Marines as theatre. And on Thursday night, a judge agreed that the action was illegal. Trump has promised a heavy response if protests disrupt his planned military parade in Washington on Saturday to mark the 250th birthday of the Army and Trump's own birthday. There was fresh controversy on Thursday evening when US Senator Alex Padilla was bundled out of a press conference that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was holding. The senator was forced to the ground and handcuffed for daring to ask a question.
If this is how the Department of Homeland Security responds to a senator with a question, you can only imagine what they're doing out in the Los Angeles community and throughout California.
Early on Friday morning, Israel carried out a preemptive strike on targets in Iran, aimed at disrupting Iran's nuclear weapon program. The strikes, which had been telegraphed in advance, may not please Donald Trump, but the initial wave of attacks appears to have targeted both nuclear enrichment facilities and the headquarters of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. Iranian state TV says the IRGC's top commander Hossein Salami was killed in the strikes, and Israel is claiming to have killed 2 other senior generals, including top commander Brigadier General Mohammad Bagheri and key nuclear scientists. Ayatollah Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, vowed revenge, saying that the Zionist regime opened its dirty and bloody hand to commit a crime. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu maintains Israel had no choice, and he spoke directly to the people of Iran.
Our fight is not with you. Our fight is with the brutal dictatorship that has oppressed you for 46 years. I believe that the day of your liberation is near. And when that happens, the great friendship between our 2 ancient peoples will flourish once again.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, Formula 1 gets ready for Montreal and John Cleese checks back into faulty towers. Right after this. Hey, it's Jamie East here, and today's episode of the Smart 7 is sponsored by Vodafone Business in partnership with Samsung. When you're running your own business, pretty much anywhere can be your office. The spare room, the back garden, or, even the local cafe. And with the power of Vodafone Business's reliable award-winning network, combined with the new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, there's no limit to what you can do pretty much anywhere. For example, if you're working and caffeinating at the same time, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra will allow you to seamlessly complete actions across a whole range of apps to find relevant information and send it where it needs to go. It can even summarise YouTube videos for you and save it to Samsung Text Notes. That's the power of AI in your pocket. This week saw a surprising new fan of AI as Abbas Bjornolveus revealed at South by Southwest in London that he's been using AI to help generate new material, although he warned it's really bad at lyrics. Mamma mia. And getting back to Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, to take advantage of all the features and change the way you do business, you'll need a Samsung account and a network connection. And if you're using the seamless action across apps, it's compatible with selected languages only. You'll also need a Google account login, and the availability of search functions may vary by country, language and device. To find out more, search Vodafone Business Samsung, and for network verification, go to vodafone.co.uk/network. Welcome back. This weekend, the Formula 1 Roadshow is in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. There have only been 3 drivers who have won races this year, with Lando Norris chalking up 2 wins, while Oscar Piastri has 5, and defending champion Max Verstappen also has 2. Lewis Hamilton hasn't had any wins as yet, apart from a sprint race, but nonetheless, Ferrari have worked their way up to second in the Constructors' Championships, and Hamilton is hopeful that this weekend might mark a breakthrough.
The car is very much has a real sweet spot, and we're trying to get it working at all the tracks, which everyone's having to struggle with. I'm hoping this weekend can be strong.
Monty Python legend John Cleese is heading back to the London stage at a mere 85 years of age. He's not doing Python though, instead he's reviving the stage version of Fawlty Towers, the much-loved British TV sitcom. The show, which will open at the Apollo Theatre on June 24th, takes 3 episodes of the TV show and weaves them together. Cleese popped up on Virgin Radio to enthuse about the long lifespan of classic comedy.
You want to go and look at Charlie Chaplin? It's pretty funny. What is kind of funny is funny, and it doesn't matter what the setting is if it's funny, and it's classic farce, and we used to have a lot of farce.
You may want to note this name down for Christmas 2025, Baloney Tony. Netflix are so convinced that the cuddly toy from their new animated blockbuster In Your Dreams is going to be a hit with audiences that they've already ordered the toys for Christmas. The movie tells the story of a brother and sister who learn how to travel through their dreams, and it's directed by Wall-E and Incredibles 2 veteran Alex Wu. The cast includes Simu Liu, the Penguins, Kristen Milioti, and comedian Craig Robinson as the lovable stuffed toy Baloney Tony. It hits Netflix in November.
We're actually inside our dreams! It can't be. My long-lost favorite stuffed animal.
My man, smelling it.
I love this dream. I knew I smelled something rotten.
Oh, stop. Go on.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Did you know that foreign investors are quietly funding lawsuits in American courts through a practice called third-party litigation funding? Shadowy overseas funders are paying to sue American companies in our courts, and they don't pay a dime in U.S. taxes if there is an award or settlement. They profit tax-free from our legal system, while U.S. companies are tied up in court, and American families pay the price, to the tune of $5,000 a year. But there is a solution. A new proposal before Congress would close this loophole and ensure these foreign investors pay taxes, just like the actual plaintiffs have to. It's a common sense move that discourages frivolous and abusive lawsuits and redirects resources back into American jobs, innovation, and growth. Only President Trump and congressional Republicans can deliver this win for America and hold these foreign investors accountable. Contact your lawmakers today and demand they take a stand to end foreign-funded litigation abuse.